Good evening and welcome to the Tri-County Water Board meeting for March the 17th, 2026. 7 p.m. and we'll begin. Do you read or?
Cherry.
Okay. Next on the agenda is, or we need to adopt the agenda. I need a mover. All in favor? Carried. Like to direct you to any disclosure of pecuniary interest. Being none, we'll move along. I trust that you've read the previous meeting minutes and I'm just looking for someone to, do we need two separate? Or can we do them together?
All together.
Okay. A mover and a seconder for the adoption of the previous meeting minutes.
Make that motion.
Benning? Teresa? All in favor? That is carried. Any business arising from the minutes? Being none, we'll move along to staff reports. And I believe that is Joe.
Evening, everyone. Thank you, Madam Chair and staff, for having us here today. I brought along my colleague, Megan Garber, who is our Safety Process and Compliance Manager. I'll jump into the fourth quarter report. So there were no compliance issues, inspections, or QEMS updates in the fourth quarter. So I'll jump to the performance assessment section of the report. The Tri-County plant is currently operating at 94.8% efficiency, which is within normal range compared to prior years. I actually just looked at this one today and we gained 1% in efficiency compared to last year. Sorry, 0.5%. There's nothing out of the ordinary with regards to our raw water E. coli and total coliform results. The average daily flow for treated water in 2025 was 4,072.7 meters cubed. This is a 4% increase compared to 2024, and according to these numbers, the plant is currently at 31.8% of its rated capacity. Filter performance, chlorine residuals, and bacteriological samples were all within limits and regulations throughout the year. THM results are within limits and regulations throughout the year. We did see elevated sample results during our Q4 sampling. This is due to higher organics in the source water during that period of time. HAA sample results are also somewhat elevated in the fourth quarter, but well under the limits for the year and are running quarterly average. There were no health and safety issues identified throughout the year. For maintenance in October, we had Flowmetrics on site to install a new level meter in one of the storage tanks. Aeromos and Dioco helped resolve some flow meter reader issues being experienced at our West Elgin North panel. We also had a new turbidity analyzer installed, replacing one that was at end of life in the process. In November, we started the relining and cleaning project on the storage tanks with Great Terrio. You'll also see this project on the list in December, as that's when we wrap the project up. For alarms, October, November, we had some UV system alarms just before we shut it down for the year. In December, we experienced some communication issues with our rack turbidity analyzers. We also had some issues with PRVs post high lift and experienced very high raw water turbidity in December, which caused some issues in, at our strainers, which required some further cleaning. At the bottom of the report, we have a table showing our generator run times in the fourth quarter. For the year, actually, but in the fourth quarter, the run times look much more ideal with lower run times. In December, we had one IESO demand response run for 4 hours on each generator. And for the IESO program in 2025, during the summer program, we participated in 5 events and have recently been notified that a payment of $8,191.38 will be received by the board. That's all, other than questions.
Are there any questions? Tressa.
Thank you. Through the chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Just wondering about the raw water event in December that you mentioned. Just do we have a reason behind that, or is that just weather related?
Through you, Madam Chair. Are you referring to the elevated turbidity?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just weather related.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Go ahead.
Let's look at look at our capacity. I see it's interesting to note that in August we're at 41.6% capacity. So yeah, it's certainly we're underperforming in the amount of accounts we have, I think, on that system. We have to either use more water or find additional customers, I think. It's seems to have been a chronic problem. Small urban municipalities with water systems have not got the privilege of a high concentration of people. Farmers grow crops, not people, and yeah, it's we really need to expand that that customer base. It'd be a lot easier to meet our financial commitments.
Thank you.
No comment?
Sorry.
If I may, Madam Chair in Aqua, be it that I think that's more of a management as opposed to operational. Certainly this board has explored some concepts around its governance, and one of the things we have chatted about or had some conversations around is what is a growth plan? And so part of that conversation is then how do we develop a growth plan? And so for this board, I believe the direction was to go back and for me to find a project manager. And so we are in the process of looking for various project managers so that we then can address, one, your governance issue, but then two, operationally, from a management perspective, how do we put forward sort of a growth plan for this system so that it can, Councillor Mayhew, develop more customers and then potentially share the cost of operating a system across more customers as opposed to the small base that we have today.
Is there a timeline on bringing in the new manager?
I'm just gathering since we last spoke, which was in January, is the last time we met. Sorry, my intentions have gone probably more towards West Elgin needs right now. So I'm just in the process of gathering more names for the board and then shall bring that back within the next month or so.
I'm sorry, I doubt that they heard your question. If you just wanted to repeat the question.
Just asked on the timeline for a new manager. Sorry about that. I'll keep it in mind.
Thank you, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Regarding the THC levels, it was suggested in the past that perhaps if we had some comparatives on THC levels with other municipalities, like we're given a number, but for those that are not versed in water criteria, it would be nice to have a comparative analysis. Is that about, are we averaging out with most water systems in Ontario are?
Through the chair. Yeah, so there's a large data set available for THM results from across the province in all various drinking water systems, ranging from small municipal to large municipal. And it's quite a lengthy data set given the number of water systems, and it captures all four THM sample requirements for each of those systems. So you can imagine how much data there is to sift through when comparing. So what I did when you did ask this question previously was, toggle the search down to the fourth quarter, which is when we typically see those elevated results, and did distribution systems only, and large municipal systems, which is what Southwest Middlesex would be classified as. And when I did that, you'd be shocked to see some of the numbers that actually are reported. Yeah, the highest result I believe that I did see was 400. So Southwest Middlesex is doing quite well when you look at the data set as a whole. And just given the numbers, it was hard to sift through, but it didn't even make the list as one of the tops for some of the other systems in the province.
That's comforting. And when we're asked by ratepayers, we can say that we're positioned quite quite well.
Yeah, and I mean, all that information is also publicly available as well. And so if they were curious, you can open up the catalog. But as you said, it's a large Excel file with many data points. But the Chief Drinking Water Inspector also puts out an annual report as well and comments on any of the parameters that are tested for in the water system. So, but yeah, as far as Southwest Middlesex and not exceeding the running quarterly average ever, you guys fare quite well when you look at some of the other systems that are reporting numbers that are far in excess of that 100 micrograms per liter. That is the limit in each one of their samples quarterly. Some, like I said, upwards of 400.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Okay. Just read it like recommendation.
The recommendation is that Tri-County Water Board hereby acknowledge receipt of the Tri-County Drinking Water System Operations Report, fourth quarter 2025, dated March 9th, 2026, presented by Joe Daly, Senior Operations Manager for Ontario Clean Water Agency.
Do we have a mover and a seconder? And oh, nice. All in favor? Okay. Thank you. Pardon me?
Did we have all hands?
We did.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, carried.
Thank you.
I'll get used to it.
Okay.
And we're moving on to 6.2, the Ontario Clean Water Agency 2025 summary report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So there's a ministry requirement to bring the annual report to the board before March 31st. A lot of this information was covered in the Q4 report, so I'll try my best not to repeat myself, but just bear with me through this one. I'll start with the compliance report card. In 2025, we had one inspection from the MECP, one external audit, one community complaint, and one water main break. In the summary of non-compliance, we had no adverse water quality incidents or non-compliances to report throughout the year. As mentioned in the report card, we had an MECP inspection that took place on February 20th for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st. Rating of 100% was received from this inspection. This means there's also no non-compliances to touch on from this inspection. Our MECP inspection for the time period of 2025 was conducted on February 25th of this year. We are yet to receive that report. In the flow data, so in 2025 raw flows, these have the system at 31.8% capacity of the average daily water taking limit. This is a 1.13% increase from 2024. Treated water flows were covered in the quarterly. There's nothing really touch on for microbiological and operational testing. All samples are within the limits and regulations. There's nothing of concern in organic testing throughout the year. Organic sampling as well, there's nothing to really touch on. All the results are within the ranges we were looking for. The THM's running quarterly average was 40.25 with a limit of 100, and our HAA results are at 19.2 with a limit of 80. We are required to sample total suspended solids from the settling tank at the outlet weir on a monthly basis. We did have some elevated samples throughout the year in 2025. However, these remained within the limits on the annual average. And we are also currently working through a project to have the settling tank cleaned out this year, which will help keep these results in check moving forward. On page 11, we have a major maintenance summary. This lists major repairs, installs, replacements, and other major expenses for the year. I won't go through the whole list, but some of the bigger projects include the SCADA PLC upgrade project started. We had the storage tanks relined and some minor leaks repaired. We replaced the Paul membranes on rack 3. Rack 4 is planned for this year, and we had some repairs done to the Lola building. That's all.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Well, it's good. It's a good report. Thank you very much. And seeing no questions, I guess we're just going to make the recommendation.
The recommendation is that the Tri-County Water Board hereby acknowledge receipt of the summary report for the Tri-County drinking water system for January 1st to December 31st, 2025, in accordance with Section 11 and Schedule 22 of OREG 17003 under the Safe Drinking Water Act.
Do I have a mover and a seconder? Alan, Philip? All in favor? It's carried. Hey, any additional business?
If I might, Madam Chair, though the question was already asked, just for the board's awareness, I will be looking at selection of sort of project managers for the board so that we can then explore next steps forward for this board, whether that be changing of your governance or looking at models to support both growth and development of the board. So I will, Madam Chair, once I have some of those names, if it's before the next scheduled meeting, connect with you and perhaps do a special meeting if required.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Okay, go ahead, Brian.
Thank you very much. And through you, Madam Chair, one of the things that we had sort of mentioned at the last meeting was the concept of having a staff member brought on to perhaps facilitate some of the same goals insofar as looking at grant opportunities, investigating revenue streams, looking for potential buyers to Councillor Mayhew's point. We're not using the amount of capacity that we could be using. And I just wondered if that was something that project manager could also look into, if that was an option, or if that's something that maybe we could get direct staff to look into. I'm not sure exactly what the process there would be, but I think that might also be something that we should be looking at considering is utilizing, like a combined staff member that could participate in some of those goals, and maybe that would keep everything in-house and kind of tidy things up. So just a question. I thought I'd put that forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to?
I believe, Madam Chair, that was sort of part of the discussion where the board was looking at what not only from its governance, but from a structural standpoint would be best for the organization. And so that would be part of what we would explore for going forward.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any additional questions? I think we're on to.
Quick meeting.
It was a very quick meeting. We are on to adjournment.
The recommendation is that Tri-County Water Board hereby adjourn at 7:18 PM to meet again at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, June 16th, 2026, or at the call of the chair.
Could I have a mover and a seconder? Bill? Alan? All in favor? That is carried. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Have a lovely evening.
Take care, safe drive home.
Thanks, everyone.